Okay, Stampers, this is Kate with Kate's Creations, here to share another card making video with you using Stampin' Up! Products from the current annual 2022-23 catalog, and a little sneak peek at one product from the new June to December mini catalog as well. So, and I am going to be casing the catalog, page 72, and I'm going to be casing this card right here, which uses the Forever Fern stamp set and the Forever Flourishing dies. Used to be sold as a bundle, but now it's available in separate pieces, carried over from a previous catalog. So let's get started. I'm going to be using flowering tulips for the sentiment. No one deserves a happier birthday than you. I'm going to be using the Forever Fern stamp set. Actually, I'm not using any of the stamps. I'm only using the Forever Flourishing dies. I'll be using this die and the leaves. I'm going to be using the deckled rectangle dies. Those are new in this current annual catalog. They're found on page 170, and they're $30. And there's a large variety of them in there. And I'm liking that edge, and you'll see it when we start making the card. And I have a little trick for that one too. And then I'm going to be using the Twigs and Sprigs Cut and Emboss set. That's also new in the current annual catalog. You'll find it on page 177. It's $35, and it comes with a 3D die and a die cutout. Now I'm not using the cutout, the dies, but I wanted to show you what they look like. I ran a piece through and I cut it large enough that it filled the whole thing. So that's going to be 4.5 by 6.25 that I cut the piece, and I embossed the whole thing. And then you can line this up with them and cut out all those individual pieces, and they're embossed. And so this is what they end up looking like. Can you see that? Get it up a little closer. And I haven't decided how I'm going to use these yet, but I'm anxious to give it some thought and give it some try. If you've got an idea, if you've done it already, send me a link. I'd love to see what you did. But you can see just a variety of pieces and all different textures. And you could come back. These are really easy to color once you've got the raised part. It's really easy to use your blends pens and color them, and so the embossed parts would stand out from the background. So that's just something kind of fun that you'll be able to do with that set, and I'm looking forward to using those and showing you how I might use them in a future project. And then from the new mini catalog, I'm going to be using the seasonal adhesive backed sequins. Okay, let me show you the card I'm going to make. This is the card I'm making. And it starts with, guess what? Basic white thick card base. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25 to make an A2 standard size greeting card. And I'm going to burnish it with my bone folder, and I'm going to put a little plug in for myself. I have now got a laser printer, and I can make customized engraved bone folders. They have to be real bone. For me to be able to do that, they're available through me for $10 a piece. And this one says, "Stamping makes me happy." And I put all kinds of things around it, happy marks, you know, hearts and just confetti like things. Stamping makes me happy. I'm going to be making these for my customers for Christmas. So put in a little plug. If you're interested in those, message me and we'll talk. Okay, here is the base card. Like I said, an A2 card. This is from Texture Chick Designer Series paper, and it is cut to cover the full front of the card. So it is 4.25 by 5.5, and we'll use Stampin' Seal, and we will attach that. front. When I'm attaching things like this, I hold it up at an angle so that only one corner touches, and I get that one corner in place, and then the second corner over here and press down on it, and then the rest just falls into place. There we go. The next layer is Flirty Flamingo. Yeah, Flirty Flamingo. And this piece is 3 3/4 by 5. That's what I want it to be. I started with it larger, but I'm going to cut it down because I want some of that to show. And so 3 3/4. Take some off here. By 5. So lost a 1/2 inch off of each side. And that's going to go on the card front flat as well. And this has been embossed with that really pretty embossing folder that I told you about. I showed you earlier. And so we're going to just use Stamp and Seal on this as well. And away we go, round and round and round. And again, I'm going to hold it at an angle. I'm going to get it so that the 3 sides are all pretty much equal here, and that means the back side's going to be equal as well, and then I can lay it down, and it's very good, very close to perfect, but not necessarily perfect. Okay. Then this is Basic White Regular, and it is 3 by 4 1/4, and this is the I didn't write it down. This is the Rose Gold 6 by 6 Designer Series paper. There's 3 different colors in the pack, and it's in your catalog. And this is the rose gold color that's in there. And it's got a beautiful texture to it and just shimmers gorgeously. And it's going to go on the front of the card with this. And what I did is I took and put Stamp and Seal on the back of this piece first. And then I held this kind of where I was going to put it, because I want this one to lean this way, and I want this one to lean that way. And I wanted to kind of make sure that they stayed on the piece. I think I'm going to just put it right about like this. And most of it gets covered up. I thought about putting this in the front, and that was too much. It needed to just be an accent. So it ended up being behind the white. And then I'm going to put the white on here next. Again, just flat with Stamp and Seal. And it's going to tilt the other way. And just let that little bit of rose gold peek out from behind. There's that. And then these are die cut out of Flirty Flamingo, Pear Pizzazz, and So Saffron. And I still have a few little chads here that I need to knock out. Get those out of the way. There's that one. And that one, and then this one's even got a little tiny one there that needs to go away. There we go. Get those out of the way. Now these are going to go down flat as well, and I am using my go-to pen, which is the Zig 2-way squeeze pen. It's what I use, and it works great for me. I know it's not Stampin' Up. And I'm just putting a little bit of glue on each of these leaves so that they will stay down nicely. You wouldn't necessarily have to do every leaf. That's up to you. Sometimes when they kind of float a little bit, it's nice to have them be able to do that. Okay. And then it's just a matter of deciding where you want it to land. That looks good to me. Off the edge of the paper is perfect. It does not have to fit within that frame of that white piece. Press that into place. Then I'm going to do this one next. And again, I'm just going to oops, add some glue. To each of the leaves. It goes together pretty quickly when you know what you're doing. There we go. And this one's going to go on there next. And I'm going to bring it up this way. Sometimes I just turn it over and press for a while because then it stays in place better. There we go. And then this last piece is that So Saffron piece. And you could raise this one up pretty easily with mini glue dots if you are, not mini glue dots, but mini dimensionals if you wanted to, because they would fit on these tips of these stems. But I decided to stay flat. And just like that. And we'll turn it over and press on it for a little bit. Now I have a little trick to share with you because my sentiment piece, I wanted it 4 1/4 inches long. The die from the deckled rectangles is not that long. It is only about 2.5 inches long. So what I did, I'm just going to grab a piece of white that I have in the drawer here. I wouldn't necessarily use it this wide, but I think I cut this originally. Let me see if I wrote it down. No, I didn't. But this is about 3/4 or so wide. So I cut a piece that was 1 inch wide. But I'm just going to use the piece I had here. And what I did is I put it into my Stampin' Cut Emboss. I'm just going to put it right in the middle just to make life easy. Like that. And then I ran it through, and I'm going to do that off screen so you can see it. Get that on there again. I did set it so that it was straight to the front. So you can see it's straight. It's not set crooked on here for the most part. And when I run it through until this line here just disappears past. So let's see if I can get it in here. So I ran it through just until this piece disappears past there, just like that. And then I stopped and I backed it out. And then I turned it around and I put this back on, and I had figured out how long I needed it to be, and I just overlapped just a little bit into here. Hope you can see, just like that, and stayed basically straight. Again, sticking to me because my fingers got sticky from the glue. Just like that. But I want it to go in. Yeah, this is the way I want it to go in. So I've turned it around and I want it to go in this way with this end going in first. So here we go. Oops, I moved it. I should have put washi tape on this thing. Hold it into place. Normally I just have this up here already. Bring this in, put it in. There we are. Again, I'm just going to run it until this end just disappears, just barely disappears past the thing here. And I'm going to back it out. And there's our piece. So that's a little trick I did today. Thought I'd share with you to make, so you can make your pieces longer. You can do that with any of these shapes and make them longer if you needed to. But that one in particular, I needed it to be longer so that I could put my sentiment on there. And now I'm going to stamp the sentiment with Pear Pizzazz to pick up a little bit of that color. And here's my sentiment from the Flowering Tulips. I like that sentiment. especially when you put it on right side up. And there it is. So pretty. And it's going to go on with dimensionals. So let me get some more dimensionals here. Shove them out of the way. And I'm going to put 4 of them across this piece. I want it to, there's a partial piece there. I might have spaced those a little bit better, but I didn't. Okay. And then that's going to go over the stems here, like this, from side to side. And there's today's card using the Forever Fern stamp set. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, if you're interested in the bone folders, let me know. Send me a message and we'll talk and see what we can do for you for that. And leave me a comment or subscribe if you haven't yet. And you can also shop my online store. Okay, that's enough. Talk to you later. Bye.